Carolyn Harris.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Can I congratulate my honourable friend from Easington for securing this really, really important debate? And can I say to the government one more time, you really need to stop burying your heads in the sand and do the right thing by these women. Because yet again we're at the same point, debating the unfairness and the injustice to the 1950s women as a consequence of the changes to the pension. Without the time to prepare and make the necessary alternative arrangements, so many women born in the 1950s are left in financial despair. The reality is the women are desperate. I have women who are affected call my office, write to me, email me every day letting me know that they have had to sell their belongings and are relying on family, friends and food banks just to exist. Over 2.5 million women have been wronged by this injustice. That's 2.5 million voices that will not be ignored and 2.5 million women that won't go away. The changes to the Pension Act 2011 give women insufficient time to prepare for retirement, and this has caused particular hardship for certain groups. Those with a lower average age expectancy, those who depend more on their state pension in retirement, those who are more likely to suffer from health problems or disability, and those who have to care for elderly parents, husbands and grandchildren, limiting their ability to work up to and beyond 65. For some of these women, their jobs are physically demanding, and because of their health, they can no longer do the things they were able to do when they were younger. And although the Minister believes that apprenticeships and accessible work are available to these women, I believe that is an insult. Caseload data for women aged 60 plus claiming unemployment benefit increased between 2013 and 2017, more so than the total number of claimants. I certainly will.
Do you not agree that with all of that there are still loads of inconsistencies, such as a 1 year change in the date of birth actually means 3 years additional pension stage for some of these women, making it even more illogical the way the government have introduced this?
I think my thoughts on that have been put on record many times, and yes, I do agree with my honourable friend. Caseload data for women aged 60 plus claiming unemployment benefits increased between 2013 and 2017, more so than the total number of claimants for all other ages. The number of women aged 60 plus claiming benefits increased by around 9,500. That's a 115% increase, and pension ages changes have played a substantial part in that increase. It is crucial that this government recognises the need for fair transitional state pension arrangements. Yet the government is still not listening. They've deceived these women, they've stolen their security and they've shattered their dreams. In September, myself and my co-chair, the Honourable Member for East Worthing and Shoreham, and other cross-party members of the APPG, tabled a bill regarding this subject, which will have its second reading in April 2018. And in preparation for this bill, the APPG recently launched a consultation to gather opinions from the women affected. And the number of responses to our questionnaire within the first few hours was staggering. To date, we have nearly 90 responses from groups representing very many thousands of women. These women are those who are living with the consequence of the pension changes, and these are the women whose voices will be heard. I have personally met with many women, both in my constituency and as chair of the APPG, I have visited many constituencies around the country to speak to these women affected. Most recently, I've been to visit with my honourable friend from Rhondda, Ogmore and Aberavon. And my office is currently dealing with requests for me to visit 1950s women's groups in Scotland, Northern England and right across Wales. And wherever I go, the story is always the same. These women feel cheated, they feel disrespected and they are angry. And every meeting is packed. Not one of these women has any intention of giving up until they get the result that they have earned and they deserve. Fair transitional payments that will allow them to enjoy their retirements that they've spent very many whole years working very hard for. And what about those 1950s women that left this country to live in other parts of Europe? who are not only concerned about how their lives will pan out after Brexit, but who are currently feeling extremely vulnerable and, if I'm honest, left out in the cold when it comes to their pensions. These women have not got an MP to voice their concerns. So these women have contacted me, and I'm sure very many people in this chamber, to ask what's happening to their pensions. When they left this country, they left it believing that they would get their pension at 60, and they are feeling that they have been robbed also. But across this House, so many colleagues agree that the changes to state pension are unjust and unfair. So it really is time for the government to stop blocking their ears, to start listening, to let these women have justice, do the right thing, do the honourable thing, and give the WASPy women and all 1950s women what they deserve: transitional payments.
Peter Aldous.
Thank you, Madam Deputy. Thank you, Madam Deputy.
They love you, Peter. They love you, Peter.
What was he going to do?
They may...
Order, just before the honourable gentleman begins his speech, let us make it very clear that we don't have cheering and clapping in any parts of this chamber. We do have hear, hear, and we do have smiles and laughs, but we don't have cheering and clapping. Mr. Aldous.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. Due to the